Always stop practicing when it's the most fun. That's the key to get the fastest results on your instrument. And in this little presentation, I'm going to show you why. So let's start here. This is a little presentation about the JazzMind Accelerator Lab that is now the first time presented in English. This one is a no-brainer, right? I cannot imagine any way how someone can learn to play jazz or any instrument without figuring out how practicing actually works. So imagine the people who are going on the bandstand and they play a killer solo after a killer solo, and they get all the admiration of the audience and the band members and the musicians and the place and the guys at the bar and the women at the entrance. So they get all the admiration. And how did they do this? They practiced. And why did they do it? Because it was fun. And what was the result? They had so much success and they were accelerating through their practicing. So by the end of this video, you will know why you need to stop practicing when it's the most fun. That's my promise. And we need you to accelerate with your progress. And we need you to get results on your instrument, in your playing live on stage as fast as possible so that your motivation stays high and you're always eager to practice every day. So very quickly about myself, my name is Simon Petermann. I'm a touring musician. I've been playing in Europe, outside Europe, all over Europe, but I'm also a professor for trombone, ear training, theory, rhythmics, ensemble, and I have a special course about practicing at the Swiss Jazz School in Bern. And I am also a professor at the University of Applied Arts in Bern, and I'm teaching music education there. So, first secret, no more learning scales, focus on the crucial notes instead. I'm sure you've been there, maybe with this standard or another one, and you went through it and you learned all the scales like E flat major 7. Okay, E flat major 7. That's all these notes, and it's called Ionian, right? And then you go on to D minor 7 flat 5. Okay, it's 7 notes, D minor 7 flat 5, and it's called Locrian. And then the chorus is over and you've only played like 2 scales. And me personally, I can actually not think of 8 notes at the time. So how should this actually work? I cannot imagine a way, and I'm actually a seasoned player. I've been doing this for 25 years. So how should someone else be able to do this? And I tell you the secret, and the secret is we're going to focus on the crucial notes. There are just a couple of notes that are not the same, like our key of the tune, E flat, and we need to focus on these. And then we embed them into a very nice, very smooth guide tone line, and then you can practice with this. When I play There Will Never Be Another You, I'm going to use this one instead of this one. And I'm sure you agree, right? This is way easier to think about than this. And the benefit is also it's even more musical. That was secret number 1. Stop practicing scales. Instead, focus on the crucial notes. Secret number 2. Access your hidden potential in ear training. So, I'm going to show you some Super Mario Land footage in a second, but first, I'm going to tell you a story. I remember exactly when I was sitting in this ear training class. I was a kid, maybe 19 years old, 20 years old. And then we were thinking about theory, and then we were developing like all the chords, and I had to think like the 4 chords. And so very, very, very brainy intellectually and getting this into the ear, but it was no sound coming from my heart. It was no sound I actually recognized until this one. And I'm gonna show you a little sequence of this, like maybe 15 seconds, and then I'm gonna share with you why this playing video games actually changed my ear training, and I've been very successful with this, teaching it to students now. So you heard this very last one. This is actually G7 flat 9. We just saw it here. It's this chord. It's the last chord on the first line, G7 flat 9. And I remember sitting in this class and then the professor was playing, okay, if you're playing G7 flat 9, it's actually A flat diminished chord over G, and it sounds like this. And then it came to my mind, oh wow, this is like Super Mario. So I went home, took my Game Boy, and I checked if it's actually true that this was do 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 do. And that's what you need to remember. You need to remember, what have you listening to in your life? You've been listening so many hours of music in your life, and you need to access this potential. You don't need to learn new stuff. You need to develop your hidden potential, the potential you already have, and then you need to connect this to chord symbols. So every time I'm now playing There Will Never Be Another You, in the fourth bar, I'm actually playing Super Mario. And you might laugh at this, but the thing is, this Super Mario, I played this so many times when I was a kid, and so many times I heard this do 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 do, and this left an emotional impression with me. And as music is about emotions, we need to access this. So what you need to do in your ear training, you need to access your hidden potential in ear training. And because you've been listening to music days and days and days and hours and hours and hours for your lifetime, this is already inside your brain and inside your ear and inside your heart, and you only need to access this potential. You don't need to learn anything new. This was secret number 2. And now secret number 3, that's actually trick your brain into practice consistency. And that's why stop playing when it's the most fun. So there is a thing called the forgetting curve. Looks a bit difficult here. The thing is, after 24 hours, you forgot about 60% of what you've learned. That's why repetition is so crucial for learning. The moment you learn something, you remember everything. But then after 24 hours, you forget 60% of everything. So when you start practicing again after one day, that's the second review. After another 24 hours, you maybe forgot 40%. And by doing this every day, every day, every day, you actually get the learning curve. That's the green thing here. That's what you're remembering. But to achieve this, it's super important that you practice every day. And how can you make yourself practice every day? How can you trick your brain into practice consistency? And there is a key to it. It's not only that you store in your mind, in your emotions, what you've been practicing, but also you will remember how you felt that very moment. And just a little question for you. Do you think you would like to play your horn again when you stopped when it was fun, or when you stopped when you were tired? So the emotion you've been in when you stop practicing, that will be the emotion when you start again, and how you remember practicing. So the thing is this. I set my timer to 25 minutes, and then I go deep into the topic I'm actually working on. And then when the alarm goes off, I stop, and I enjoy stopping when it's fun, because the very next day I'm eager to play again. But when I practice until I'm super tired, the next day I feel like, oh no, yesterday I was practicing this and it was so exhausting. I'm so tired. So that's the thing. That's the trick. We're tricking your brain into eagerness of practicing. And I'm going to show you how this exactly works. So you have the path to it. We're going to go through it. I'm going to make a practice plan with you so you actually know exactly what and when to practice on. And that's my promise. Always stop practicing when it's the most fun, because you will remember the emotion you've been in when you stopped, and you want to stop when it's fun. So you're going to look forward to play again. And then you learn how to accelerate your practice progress. We need to figure out how practicing works for you, how practicing works best for you, and I'm going to make practice plans with you. So if you're curious about this method, I'm going to show it to you again, the JazzMind Accelerator Lab. Then book a call now. We have only limited spots at the very moment. We're not working with everyone at the moment. We take a selection and take your call. There will be a link to this video. We only work with jazz players looking to play jaw-dropping solos live on stage. If this is you, book a call, get a no-cost JazzMind chat with me right now. We have limited seats and I'm looking forward to seeing you.